Fire service, what is your name, caller?
Anne Smith.
And what is your contact number in case we get cut off?
087
Yeah.
43
Yeah.
98217.
What's the exact address of the emergency, Anne?
My name is Pamela. I work as an emergency control operator in West Region Fire Control, which is based in Castlebar Fire Station in Castlebar, County Mayo. I used to work in ambulance control, but before I did that, when I was a teenager, I did a lot of volunteering with different groups like the Order of Malta, which was a really important start for me. So I kind of was interested in the emergency services from when I was about 9 years old. My main role as an emergency control operator is to answer emergency calls that come through on the 999 or 112 phone lines. So the phone will ring and we answer it straight away. So we want to have it answered within 2 rings at the very, very most. And when we answer the phone, the clock starts for us. People can find the fire service quite abrupt on the phone. We won't be polite. We won't say, "Can you give me your name, please?" We'll say, "What is your name, caller?" And that is to ensure that we firstly take control of the call, and secondly that we need to get that information and we need to get it quickly. The longer that we spend talking about whether or not you're going to give me your name, the slower the response is to get to you. When you come into work, you don't know what's ahead of you. You could have one of those days where it's just a couple of chimney fires here, or you could have a major emergency. You could have a massive crash. You could have anything could happen. You don't know if you're able for it until you come in the door, you sit on the desk, you put the headset on and you answer that call. You don't know if you've got the kind of guts for it. The odd time you do get a call and it just knocks you back. You know, someone comes home and they find, you know, their mother on the ground and they try to do CPR, and they're difficult because they're emotional calls. People are trying to do their best. And sometimes you know deep in your heart that it's not going to have a successful outcome. It can be strange not knowing what happens afterwards. You can get a call for someone that says that their family is in the house and they can't get into them. Once that call is taken, you do find yourself checking in on it. You go home and you're going, "I wonder what happened there. I wonder, are they okay? I wonder, are they going to be on the news?" It can be hard to pull yourself back sometimes. I mean, on several calls I've been the last person to talk to someone before they passed away. And it's a really surreal kind of feeling. You know, you're trying to call their name, they're not answering, you know, you've got the Gardaí already on the way to make sure the door can be opened, then the ambulance crew gets there and the person's deceased. It's very easy to bring that stuff home. It's very easy to have a tough call, go back to your house and be in a bad mood or be upset or just want to go to bed or just want to not think about it. People don't realise there are people at the end of the phone. We're not robots. We feel things. If you've had a bad call, if something's gone wrong or it's a very severe call, or it might be someone you know, because that does happen, that you answer the phone to what you think is a stranger and you realise it's your neighbour, it's someone you went to school with. You go out of the room, you leave the room, you get a cup of coffee, you sit down, you take a few minutes, you go outside for fresh air, whatever you need to do to get into a good place again so you can go back and finish your job. So it's a balancing act, trying to find a middle ground between taking care of yourself and taking care of the public. But when I do get home, I think it is important to de-stress. I think it's important to take time for yourself. I like quilting and kind of making homemade things. And it's just time that I allocate to myself to just get away from what I do. And it's something important that you have to have an output. You have to have a place where you can go that has nothing to do with your job. And I've been pretty lucky because I'm made of strong stuff. It doesn't bother me as much as it could, and as much as I've seen it bother other people. Like, part of me kind of goes, if I know that I've done everything I can as quickly and as well as I'm supposed to, that if something bad comes out of it, if someone doesn't survive, or if it's just one of those terrible tragedies that we come across every now and again, I don't feel bad because I've done my part, I've done everything I could. And I think that's the kind of mentality you have to have, or you'd find it very hard to survive in a job like this. When you come to work, you answer the phone, you send the fire brigade, and something good happens. The public who ring you, they're not having a good time. They're in a situation that they've never experienced before. They're terrified, and you can help them. I feel like at the end of my day, at the end of 8 or 12 hours, I've helped someone. I've done something that's had a positive impact on somebody else's life. And I think that's the best part of my job